football game or really any sort of power conference game, there's some language that they might hear as well. So you need that kind of lesser introduction into football. Will you talk about all this player movement and potential tampering and finding these players? Kirby Smart speaking on that at his spring availability yesterday.
The 105 number, the NIL number, what's the cap number, what is this going to be? There's stuff going on right now, guys, in college football. I mean, there's people reaching out to have a Zoom call and present all the players they represent that are on teams, including our teams. And they want to invite people to the Zoom so they can watch and see who's going in the portal or shopping who's in the portal before the portal. Do you want to get on the Zoom and look at all these players? I'm like, well, what if some of them are mine? I mean, it could be one of the most legendary, moments in all of college sports with what's coming up on this ruling and how people are going to try to manipulate a cap when all we're trying to do is make for competitive balance.
There's a lot coming down the block in the sport with the impending House settlement. We'll maybe get some finality for that on Monday, but ultimately I'm hearing a lot of things that sound like the job of a general manager, which Kirby Smart famously does not have. He's calling it a team effort around there. So with everything happening in college sports, what do you think of the strategy to not have a general manager to help manage all of it?
I think it's the wrong strategy. And what he just said, he's 1,000% accurate, coming from a head coach's point of view. And when I was a general manager at Maryland, this is one of the things I wanted to remove Coach Loxley from, making emotional decisions. Because just picture it. You're the head coach, and you're supposed to be in this Zoom. Let's picture that he was in this Zoom conversation. And you're hearing my right tackle wants to leave. My left guard wants to leave. My starting quarterback is thinking about getting in this portal. You're like, what the heck is going on here? My team is done. But as a general manager, you have to be aware of that. I could go in and sit in that meeting, in that Zoom meeting, understand who's getting posts on our team. And my answer would be to coaches, say, Coach, we need to reestablish our team and maybe re-sign our guys to a better contract so they don't leave. And I'll have information from that and I can give to you so I can remove that emotional decision that you want to make, that you should make. But that's not your job as a general manager. Head coach, yes.
I agree with that. If you look at Kirby, too, their high school recruiting has been phenomenal, right? And I think Kirby is so good at so many aspects. Just because you're good at almost everything doesn't mean you're good at everything. And I'm not saying Kirby's bad at this, but it does seem like it's a lot on his plate to manage. You may not need a general manager in like the Andrew Luck sense to where he literally is running everything, but just maybe like somebody who can help out Kirby more, like you said, take some of the emotions out of these decisions. Just player at what price? And if not him, then who? Right? And that's kind of how you got to build your roster. If you got two windows, you have two roster building cycles. And Georgia's transfer stuff recently has been, when you consider like how much money they have and how much prestige they have and how much they win, it's been pretty subpar. Like if the transfer portal doesn't exist,
that's saying a lot. That's give them credit for something.
I mean, it's been rough.
Right.
Look at the transfers they brought in. Look at the guys who have left the program that maybe they misjudged.
And a part of having a general manager is not necessarily only doing the physical part of it and understanding the aspect of him playing as a player, the football character. You also have to go to the off-the-field stuff. And that's where your management, that's where the personnel guys get all the information that they need to make the proper decision saying, that, you know what, this player fits our culture because they understand that. But being a coach, that's taking a lot on your own self to do, to be able to coach them. Do all the PR stuff and bring in the right players, understand their background and what they bring to you in terms of the athletic standpoint. Man, dude, you don't have that many hours in a day to do that job. Delegate.
Why could Notre Dame afford to just absolutely punk Georgia on the outside in that Sugar Bowl? Yeah. The reason is because you brought in two transfer receiver and both of them got popped for domestics, right? So you ended up having to play guys on the outside who were pretty nice in their gadget player role, but when you're like, hey, can you be a full-time X? Can you be my other outside guy? Like ooh, actually, that's not really what I'm good for. They almost lost to Georgia Tech because of that. Like Georgia Tech stopped the run game pretty well. They had a lot of these nice run blitzes timed up. Beck made some good throws in that ball game and just drop after drop. Like that's why it went to 7 overtimes and the comeback wasn't completed early.
But when you have a bunch of gadgets in your play box, you don't really have many players.
Right.
You just have a bunch of little pieces that you hope that can work. But when you have somebody that's coming in and overlooking your roster from that 30,000 viewpoint of saying, okay, we have one gadget guy, that's all we need. If we need a backup for him, we can find it somewhere else. But we need a proven X, Z, F, U, whatever alphabetical letter that you want to say. But I'm going to put this team together through the vision of your eyes.
Yeah.
Lose out the emotions. Tell the coaches, I got it. But that's where a manager comes in. But also to be able to intervene for you in some of those meetings to negotiate contracts. In the NFL, rarely does a head coach negotiate a contract with a free agent.
Well, Kirby was already saying that he was sick of the agents and didn't want to deal with them. So that's somebody that would take care of that for you.
1,000%. You don't have to ever meet with them. I'll just bring back the information that you need to proceed on to the next player.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, fine. I'll be the bad guy. You can MF me all you want and tell me, get that out of your face, but it's okay. I'm the guy that's standing in between you and that scum that wants to get into the office.
Not to mention all the things that are happening with rev share and everything. He was mentioning the cap number. I mean, even NFL teams, they have general managers, but they also have a cap guy too. Yeah. Sounds like Kirby Smart and his team, he says it's not all him, is taking on a lot of responsibilities. But hey, if you are